Hi everyone, this is Esateys, and this is part 2 of Nutrition Whole Foods. Remember, we were talking about the 5 pillars. Number 1 is nutrition whole food, 2 mindset emotions, 3 environment, 4 genetics, 5 interconnection. But today we're focusing on why good nutrition is very important and why we don't have it in the foods that we've eaten. That was in part 1. And we started to get into why pure whole food, dense foods are the foundation for absolute health. And I spoke just briefly about detoxing. So I'm just going to reiterate a little bit about that, and then we'll get into the importance of detoxing. So we've already established that most of us have eaten foods that have not been all organic, that have not been grown from the ground and put in our mouths instantly, and that we have other kinds of toxins that are being put in our body from our environment and things of that nature. And therefore, in our bodies, we have this amazing mechanism that says, oh my gosh, this is a poison, this is not good for me. And so what it does is it takes it and it stores it. And usually where it stores it, primarily where it stores it, is in fatty tissue. And the fatty tissue is like a storage tank. Now this is very important because if you happen to be holding on to some extra poundage, you can just know that that extra poundage has a lot to do with toxicity. And when we know that we haven't gotten the whole dense nutrients that we need, then we are taking in foods that are not, and other characteristics as well through the environment and air and all of that. We're now getting stuff in our body that our livers cannot detox fast enough, our kidneys can't, because we have some very strong detoxing organs. We have our lungs, we have our liver, we have our gallbladder, we have our kidneys that are working with the bladder that help try to get it out. I mean, we have lots of really powerful tools within our body system to help us. But what's happening is, as a collective, maybe this isn't true for you specifically, although it might be, as a collective, our bodies have become very toxic. And the emotions are another thing, but again, we'll talk about that in a little bit. I want to keep my focus on nutrition because all these other things keep coming to me about, well, this is a toxin and that's a toxin. But today we'll talk about how we're going to help get rid of these kinds of toxins that are being held in fatty tissue. Now, if you're very thin, it doesn't mean that you don't have toxicity. I'm thin. I've always been quite thin. But when I did the cleanse that I started to tell you about on the last blog, I was pretty amazed. I actually lost a couple more pounds, and I found that I felt a little bit like, wow, I'm dumping some stuff here, because I'm very sensitive to my body, and I knew that something else was happening. And I'm a pretty clean girl. I mean, I eat organic most of the time, and I don't do a lot of things that a lot of people do by nature because I was very ill when I was young, and I learned that I couldn't do that stuff. I didn't have the latitude that some people do, and therefore I started cleaning my body up a lot of years ago. But I was pretty amazed, actually. I shouldn't have been, because I breathe, and if you breathe, you're toxic. At any rate, so the toxicity is very important. We want those toxins out of the body. And what's going to do that easier, faster, and better than anything? Whole, dense, super nutrient foods. And so let's talk about the benefits of detoxing. Why would you want to do that? Why do you want to get rid of that excess tissue, fatty tissue? Why would you like these poisons to get out? It seems logical, doesn't it? But you know what? A lot of people don't get it. They don't realize that when you are clean, if you will, if you're pure inside your cellular body, you're going to have increased energy. You're going to have that waste removing process going on all the time. You are not going to overburden your kidneys and your liver and your gallbladder and your lungs. And you are going to be able to have energy to do the things you really want to do, instead of constantly trying to hide the toxins and protect your other organs from these toxins, which cause inflammation. And the inflammation comes from the free radicals. So when you've got a toxin in there, that's a free radical. That's like a foreign body inside the body system. And what happens is it tries to put it away. Well, in the midst of doing that, frequently it can't get them all. And secondly, it creates an inflammatory response because it's like a foreign body, and the body starts sending out, we got an intruder here. So it sends out all of these cells trying to attack it and get rid of it. And the free radicals are running around, the inflammation starts going rampant, and pretty soon we get these little swellings inside our joints and places like that, and pretty soon we've got a little arthritis, and after that we've got inflammation in our gut, and then we've got some stuff going on in our lungs, and the body is going, I can't keep up, because it's so busy trying to remove the toxins, it doesn't have any time to give you any energy, because all your energy is being dumped into trying to clean up your act, so to speak. So that excess waste removal is really, really critical. The other thing that occurs when you're detoxing and you're cleaning your body is that it strengthens your immune system. Because think about it for a minute. If you're using all your energy to try to confine the toxins, then how much is left for you to have the clean energy to make you want to do what you want to do? But in addition to that, how can there be anything that's going to help your immune system stay strong? There's nobody left to be putting up those walls and barriers because you're too busy fighting off the overload. Therefore, when you are cleaning yourself out, you have a much stronger immune system. And your immune system is primarily based in your gut, in your stomach, in your colon area. And that's where so many of the toxins are also harboring and lining the inside of the colon. That's why you want to keep your colon very, very clean, because if you do not, it then becomes, if it might normally be like this big around, it becomes like as big around as a pencil for some people. And when that's the case, you are going to have a lot of toxins stored on the walls of the colon. And then you are again in overload. You're using so much energy, there's nothing left for you. The other thing that's great about having your body be detoxified is you're then able to improve your skin. Your skin gets cleaner and clearer. It becomes tighter. You don't get as many wrinkles, and it doesn't happen as fast. And it also helps improve the breath, and that comes because when the colon is clean and you're not overloaded with all the toxins in your system, then your body is able to move the airflow through in a way that is not overloaded with toxins that are literally coming out through the breath. So when you're clear and clean, it resets your mind and your body to live a much healthier life, You think more clearly. You have healthier hair. It's shinier, it's nicer. And a really big thing is you feel lighter. You feel lighter and more connected, if you will. You feel a sense of peace inside because your body's not in a constant state of battle. And that's a really, really nice feeling. So the overall effects are anti-aging. The overall effects are amazing energy. The overall effects are that you don't have the inflammation and the pain and the stiffness and the things that you may get. The clogged head clears up. There's just so many things. You have an increased sense of well-being. And that's very powerful. And I'm realizing this may be 3 blogs actually, because I have so much more to tell you about this. So I'm going to just see if I can zip right into some pure organic superfoods. Let me just give you a list, and I'm going to kind of go through them quickly, so I'll warn you, if you're trying to write them down, you may have to stop this blog and write and then start it back up. But let's talk about this in general, and then I'm going to talk about eating these versus getting them through a nutrient-dense way, which is a little bit different than eating them. So one is leafy green vegetables. I mean, we know, we've heard it forever since we were a little kid. We want to smack our moms sometimes when they say to eat your green vegetables. Well, you know, she may or not have known, she may or may not have known how important that was, but it's really important because that's a superfood. Wheatgrass or barley grass powder is very, very important. It's so deep nutrient profound. Spirulina, blueberries, sweet potatoes, kamut, and kamut is kind of like wheatgrass. Chlorella, chia seeds, seaweed, coconut oil, broccoli, nettle, And there's a few others, but these are just some main things that you can be thinking about. Now, you may not go out and buy all these things individually, so that's one of the things that we want to, I'll talk about in a minute, but there are some basic components of awesome nutrition. And here they are, and these are important. So if you don't have a pen and paper, pause this, go get one and write this down. First of all, eat only real food. And real food means nothing processed, nothing packaged. I heard some of you go, you gotta be kidding me. Well, I'm not really kidding. I'm giving you the ideal. I'm not saying that everybody will do this, and I'm not saying you'll do this 100% of the time. But what if you did this 80% of the time? What if you only ate real food, live food, organic food? Organic food is the most profound thing that you can hear me say around food, because the organic food is going to give you the highest level of purity as possible. It means that you're going to be able to have the comfort of knowing that you're not putting pesticides in your body. You have the comfort of knowing that you're getting food that's grown in soil that is healthier than food that is not. It's very, very important that you stay with live, organic, nutrient-dense foods so you can feel better. And the other thing that you want to do is stay with non-GMO. A lot of foods are being labeled now. Look for those labels. And at the minimum, make sure that you're doing organic, because organic foods are not supposed to be allowed to have any kind of GMO processing at all. So if you lived with 80% of your diet being live and raw, then it's going to make a very big difference. So I'm going to be doing some separate blogs on each of these subjects. And as I said in the last blog, and I started to say here, I know of a company that has pure, live, vegan, organic superfoods that is better utilized by the body much faster than juicing or trying to eat all those other kinds of foods. And even if you did 1 or 2 shakes a day, it would help clean out the food that you are eating that is not so pure for you. So if you do a 10-day cleanse, which is what my recommendation is, with a 20-day follow-up, then what you've got is 30 days to reset the body and give your body a chance to become purified to whatever extent you're willing to do it. And then you'll have a way of maintaining that. And I'll be happy to help you with that. So if you'd like to know more about that, just email me at health@esateys.com. I'll send you a link. And in that email, let me know what your goals would be. Would it be just to detoxify? Would it be to lose weight? Do we have clearer thinking? Whatever it is, let me know that, and I'll direct you accordingly. I really look forward to connecting with you again. And so the next blog I'm actually going to speak about is emotions and mindset. And we'll talk about the toxins with that and how to really get your head straight. Because when your head's straight, your heart's straight. When your body's straight, your heart's straight. They all work together. I look forward to the next time. Have an awesome, awesome time until we connect next time.